Hello, 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 and welcome to May 1st training. This is our focus on embodiment. And so it's also a reminder of the dance that we have because we are still in our treasure energy. And actually, let me take a moment, take a breath. We are in 2026. This is the integration year. This is the year that we integrate all of our knowledge, all of our resources that we've accumulated over the years, and really put into practice the the tools, the once again the knowledge that we have, and live our life from that place of embodiment. So it's this fresh May 1st. This is like the planting of the seeds. And actually, we planted them already, but this is the nurturing of the seeds and how we move forward embodied. So, embodiment is the movement, it's our actions, it's where we're all in alignment in our body. So, it's the physical, mental, emotional, all of it is in our body where we're feeling it, where it's actually we've as a practice. So even going back to saying, I'm here and I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to take a rest because it's this beautiful balance of be, do, be, do. We're not here to burn out. We're here to actually thrive. And so that really comes from that place of listening to our bodies, to being embodied and following through, not necessarily pushing through. There may still be times when you might feel compelled to push a little, to birth something that is important, but you don't stay there. Anytime that you've had to push, then the reminder to come back and nurture yourself back into the balanced place of peace, rest. And once again, like I said, with rest, it's not necessarily not that we're it's stopping, right? Because we're never stopping. It's the resting and coming back to the peace and the nurturing peace of rest. So want to be very clear in how I present this material because it's really important that we nurture ourselves, that this is the ultimate self-love, self-care, and also the vision to create your life, which is how you do it. We've been so conditioned to really not listen to our bodies, not listen to our intuition, not listen to our guidance, our own internal guidance, and to just make whatever happen. And I'm asking you, I'm encouraging you, I'm holding the mirror for you to say, listen, there's so much external energy that's around that we absorb naturally that once we understand our vision, once we create our vision and we set our intention, then through this embodiment, we're able to take aligned action. And like I said, it's that beautiful dance of being the person that takes the aligned action, that is embodied, that knows when to rest, and then when knows to fill the calendar with whatever it is that is important, is in alignment. And then you do the aligned action, and then you come back to rest, and just see yourself as this. It's like the breath, the in and the out. It's the it's the movement of contraction and expansion. So with that, I am taking a breath. The reminder to come home to your body. So this month, we are focusing on embodiment. Most people don't really get to this embodiment stage because they are either not in awareness of how they live their life. They go to work and then feel the energy from other people, feel so stressed out, and then do some type of self-soothing that may or may not be in alignment with what their values are, what their desires are. And what I'm encouraging you to do is to recognize that that's where most people live, is that they live in this place that of recognition. Even if they don't acknowledge it, I'm sure that they recognize that that's where they're at. And or maybe I'm not, I don't want to assume, because once again, that doesn't benefit anyone. But thinking from my experience of my past, that that I have been in that place where it was like I just have to get through the day. And like I said, we're more about thriving and really coming from that place of embodiment. And so we recognize that this is where most of society lives, and that's the energy that is really around us. And when we can say, okay, what am I choosing to interact with? And for me, a lot of times saying that I'm choosing to be self-nurturing, self-nurturing, and really building into the calendar those places where I can be in my own energy to reset. As an introvert, that's so important to me. If I was an extrovert, I might build in extra being around other people. Whatever it is that is in alignment with you, like that's the most important part. And to understand that you are on this journey and you are responsible for your part in this journey. So if you want to be more in alignment in your body and practice these things, then it's that awareness in the moment and making the choice and saying, okay, wait, I know I may have agreed to this, to something, and I'm all about being a person of your word, but however, going back to like be very mindful of what you're filling your calendar with, and is it in alignment with your what you're choosing to create your life, how you're choosing to create your life. Be mindful of that. And then remember that everything is a story. What I just said just a second ago, it's like, okay, wait a minute. Like, really be mindful as you even talk. Like for me, that's a big part of um, I'm meant to use my voice, and but I really started with my writing and to start trusting my voice through writing first because I could see what I was what I was actually projecting out, what the stories I was telling, and then I would come in and I would mark over anything that that really didn't serve me and simply mark it out and didn't make it mean anything other than I was training my brain, training my body to start speaking differently. And when I speak differently, either written or verbal, then I live differently because I am embodying this different way of life because we all grow up with conditioning like we've talked about before if you've heard this or haven't heard this, but from the moment you're born you accept what others give you, and we create our life choosing, hey, maybe I was given this but this isn't really what I desire. And rather than fill up on something that I don't desire, I'm going to say, no, thank you. I choose differently. Or I may choose to fast. But the communication piece with yourself, with your body, with where you're going is really important and is a big part of the embodiment. So as we work with this embodiment, we're really looking at that self authority and honoring the choices, the decisions that you've made. And you don't have to justify them. However, I would like for you to look and say, are these in alignment with where you're going, what you've put in place, your values, and do they support you? Is this a support? Or is this something that you're having to justify? And once again, who is it you're having to justify it to? So just checking in with your inner authority, and then coming closer to the places that really light you up, that offer you value, and then really releasing anything that might be holding you back or a lower vibration that isn't really the way that it could support you. Could be that it's the friction that helps you move, right? It could be like you get so mad that it's like, oh, I'm so sick of this, right? Even yourself, like I've been there. Like I'm like, oh, I'm so sick of my own shit that I have to do something different. And yet I don't make myself wrong for doing that. I just recognize that that was my boiling point, that was where I had to get to. But to live with this low grade, um, really friction is really hard. And once again, it goes back to like, is this really in alignment with your truth? What is it that you desire to see more of? So just keep that in mind. I understand so many of the choices, so many of the relationships we've chosen were we were different people. And once again, going back to even communicating, is that hey, I am growing, I'm choosing something different, and I'm this is for me. And then embody that and see who's still standing with you whenever you continue on, because I I promise you you will either lose people, gain people, but the relationships will change. And to me that was so important because I didn't want to continue on with the relationships like I had them because I wasn't fulfilled. And so through this, through change, through growth, through embodiment, that I have such a richer life because of these changes, this way of being, and even the communication piece. So keep that in mind, that it really is about your authority, and that to trust yourself. I mentioned it here earlier, but I want to really, for that to stand out, to say that whatever you've done in the past got you here, and here is the place we built from. And we use the information we have now because we have more of the collective consciousness, and the more of the even more so than that, like even if you don't want to tune into the internet or tune into um, more than encyclopedias, but like that being the collective consciousness, that it really is about trusting yourself, and and really releasing the judgment of making yourself wrong. Right, we all make decisions in our life, like decisions, we make multiple decisions every day, and yet the key is to say that you move from the information that you have. When you know different, you do different. And we are here at this moment in time so that we can grow, expand, and really to be in our hearts, and to embody this love and this goodness and this gift, the treasures that we have, and amplify them from a place of grounded embodiment, this grounded leadership, this grounded, wholesome being that you're creating. And you do it with your choices without making yourself wrong. So trust yourself and your decisions. And then also to recognize that embodiment isn't always calm. Like like we have as a human, we are, some of our treasures are our emotions. And we've been taught, a lot of us have been taught that our emotions, or to show our emotions, that it might mean that we're weak, or that we're not safe, or that a person that we're with doesn't feel safe with us showing our emotions. So there's a lot of feelings about that. But going back to this embodiment piece is to say we can feel all of our emotions, and we can choose to be in alignment with our values, with alignment with what our desires are, and move forward with that. So just know that there's a difference between like being reactionary from like that shouting, arguing kind of thing, and saying, listen, like that doesn't bring me joy, and so I choose not to engage in that. But it doesn't mean that I can't be upset because of, and have the feelings that something is not at peace, and yet I can still have peace when I choose to say I'm not engaging in that. So I hope that piece is clear. If it's not, please let me know. But the main thing is to understand that as a spiritual being having a human experience, we get to have emotions. And this embodiment piece is that you get to feel your emotions, and that you're safe feeling anything that you're feeling. And also realizing that a lot of times when we feel these lower vibrations, that it's where we're out of alignment with our values, either with what's going on outside of us or what's happening in our close proximity world. And just saying, how is it that I can get more in alignment and take these micro movements to get to a different place. And I think that's another piece that so many people judge is really like looking at someone else and seeing that they are doing this or that, and comparing ourselves. And we've all heard comparison is the thief of joy, and it truly is that, right? That it's we're each a unique individual, and we all are presented with different options every day from birth, and we all live independently together. So really being in alignment with yourself is where you're going. That is the embodiment piece, where mind, body, spirit is all together. It's the identity. It's our identity that we see, that we experience from that grounded place, that wholeness. So, and like I said, practice. It's a practice, micro movements, and just walk, walk the talk, dance the dance, and realize that sometimes we do the cha-cha, and sometimes we do the whatever the forward dance is. But it's that two steps forward, one step back, but not making it mean anything negative. And lastly, that your life reflects your values and what you stand for. So that's something to always check in, and to talk to your higher self, or not even yourself. Like, I really want to say, I really like to remove the hierarchy part of ourself, because it's more about this embodied piece. Like your embodied self. Talk to your embodied self. Like, what would I do if I was living this way? Now, where would I move from that place? And then move from that place. Choose from that place, whatever that looks like, and then take those little steps, and then just keep moving forward. So at this moment, May 1st, we are opening the door to embodiment. We've already let in the I am presence, the I am frequency, the whatever it is that you're claiming, that I am the one to create this magical life. And then we set our intention. So the intention's in the room. Whatever intention that you've set for either the year, the month, the day, the moment, live with intention. And then we have our nuance. How nuanced life is, like, that we get to experience, especially this time of year. Like, you look out and it's like you don't think there's a lot of movement, but then you look closer and it's like, oh my gosh, there's a whole little ecosystem that we don't really see when we look out in the big picture. But when we start looking at the smaller, it's like, oh, how magical it is and what happens. And that's what our life is like too. It's like you can look at the bigger view of yourself, and you could think, oh, you know, whatever it is, once again, it's just the story. And yet that you're doing it in these moments of embodiment, and in the moments of being present. So lastly, we've invited the treasures of our life in, and that's where we're dancing with that through this. We're at the full moon time, so we're really shining a light on our treasures and opening the door to this embodiment. So remembering your breath, remembering your magical life that you have, and remembering all the love and the gratitude that's available to you every single day, in all ways, all the moments, and being present. So thank you. I love you, and I will see you soon.